Okay, we're live. We're going live tonight for our new Ladies' Night edition of the Wild Women with Wine show. Karenlee Poter is going to be coming on and joining me in a moment. And so we have a glass of wine here, and I'm just waiting for Karen to pop in and say hello. There she comes. Make sure I've got her volume up so you guys can hear her too.
I've popped in.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, good. How are you?
I'm good.
TGIT.
Yes. Yeah. I always say SHIT. Sure happy it's Thursday.
Oh, I like that.
And some
Another
people
Nancyism. I'm going to put that up there. So cheers. What do you got? What are you working with here today?
I got a little Pinot. I don't know which one. Mark opened it, so I'm not sure.
I got a Pinot Noir from Sonoma County, Russian River Valley.
Nice.
Andine Chaton. Again, from Naked Wines.
Nice. How are you today?
Doing well. And you?
I'm good. We're in Southern California for the week, so it's a quick
Oh, I did not know.
quick trip this time, only 6 days. So we've been bouncing back and forth with the kids and trying to see everybody and get some things done we need to do here, blah blah blah. Life.
It's nice having a little break where you can go somewhere. It's like a little vacation.
Not really a vacation because you still have to have food and clean
Yeah, it's
and
almost like
do
you
projects
get
and
organized. You don't have a staff waiting for you with a glass of champagne when you walk in.
no, I do not. No,
Oh, that's a bummer.
I know. It's okay.
Anyway, so we're trying to shake it up a little today.
Yeah. So
We're doing a ladies' night.
Ladies' night.
Ladies' night. That feeling. Yeah, men can join us too, though. We like the men.
Maybe they can learn something from all the ladies getting together.
Exactly.
I think this show really is a great opportunity for people, men especially, who are curious about what do women talk about when they're together, right?
Oh, what's going on in that crazy mind of theirs?
Right. So this is a chance for them to get to know womankind a little better.
That's right. Womankind.
So cheers to womankind.
Toast to all the women out there. I'm going to just read something about. I saw some guy on TikTok who was talking about all these women that get on and say, if you're not a manly man if you voted for Biden, and he's like, well, first of all, it's like it's not just trying to put men down, but you're also putting down women by saying things like that's a negative if they're more womanly, more feminine.
Right.
So I
right.
think he nailed it. He totally nailed it.
Yeah.
So are we on other platforms besides this?
Just Facebook.
Okay.
So
you're on Facebook.
Are you blurry? Are you having trouble?
You're a little blurry. I'm thinking mine is not blurry, but maybe it's my vision clouded by not wearing my reading glasses.
Because you look great from where I'm. So whatever's filming on mine, and so Albert says it looks good. So
no, I think you look good. I also have YouTube. Hi, YouTube people.
Okay.
And YouTube don't know that we're doing a live streaming on Instagram and we're doing Ladies' Night.
Yes.
So, but you guys can join in as voyeurs.
So when we used to be able to go out, many years ago, I would go out with a group of girlfriends on Thursday nights, and we had this thing up in Reading called Fashion Auction, and it was held at a bar, like a nightclubby bar kind of place. And I modeled in it a couple times. They would just, invite different women to model. So we would model, and then everybody would stay afterwards and drink and dance, and it was like a blast. And so those were like really, like Thursday nights were like the best night to go out, of the week. It was, everybody was having fun.
So men, take note, if you want to meet women, Thursday night might be the best night for you to meet women.
Yeah.
That's what I think men don't get. It's like, I will go to like disco clubs.
Right.
And there are no, everyone on the dance floor is all women dancing together.
Yeah.
There are no men. So the one guy that had the guts to get down there and dance with the women was like cashing in.
Had the most fun. Absolutely.
Most fun and
Yeah.
most women, you know, it's like a monopoly.
For a few years they brought some of the what was the first male strippers group?
Oh, not Thunder Down Under.
No.
Oh, damn. The one that they had one in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Sugar Shack.
No, this was anyway. I'll think of it. If anybody can think of like in the '90s, you know, some of this male strip shows that they
you
did.
You guys know who the male strip club is that was in the '90s?
They had a big group. They had, you know, so they came to Reading, and they would do shows. So all the girls in my office, we would all go out to these shows.
Chippendales. Thank you.
Chippendales. Yep. And so
Thank you, Andy.
we would go out and so of course, you know, the place would be jam packed. That was really the first time that I really saw women open about their sexuality. You know, I mean, just really hooting and hollering and grabbing these guys, and I mean, it was non-consensual, which it didn't sit well with me. But I also saw women feeling free to express for the first time. But
I love it when you go someplace like I've been on girls trips to Vegas, and I'm like twisting my friends' arms. We got to go to like Thunder Down Under, which is like the Australian version. And they're like, no. And then they finally get in there, and then they're like pushing people out of the way. I got that guy. You know, it's like all of a sudden, it's like they're grabbing at his ass. I'm like, I thought you didn't want to come here.
Right.
It's great.
I know. But as soon as the show was over, they would open the doors because they wouldn't generally let any men in. But as soon as the show was over, there would be like a line of guys waiting at the door to come in, and then the place would just go wild.
Ladies are all horned up, and
they were totally fluffed. It's like the strippers were the fluffers.
Well, this guy Dickie said he's got a dad bod Chippendale.
A dad bod.
I mean, Dickie, I don't think that's a problem.
No.
I think like the guys that have like a little extra meat on them that are funny are very attractive guys.
Yeah.
As long as they got a sense of humor about it. If they're too serious, then I don't care what they look like.
Exactly. So, all right. So somebody wants me to be their Valentine. Thank you. That would be very sweet. I could be lots of people's Valentine.
I think you should. I thought you were my Valentine.
I am your Valentine. Yeah. Can't have too many Valentines. So
I know.
So Karen, I
Yes.
have a question for you tonight. Okay? What are people usually surprised to find out about you?
Oh. Should we get real dark right now?
Sure.
They usually get surprised to find out that I am a widow and that my husband was murdered. That's a big shocker.
Yeah.
I mean, for those of you, I mean, it's been a long time. It's been like I want to say 14 years.
Wow.
14 years. But the point is that it's not something that they would now, by looking at me, it would be like, oh, she's a widow, because it is something that I don't necessarily talk about. Yeah, thank you. I don't necessarily bring that up. But I used to go out with a fellow widow when we were both single, and as soon as we tell them that we're both widows, they're like, we'd have to immediately go, but we didn't kill them,
You had to clarify that.
I had to clarify it.
I do.
Anyway.
I accept you as my Valentine.
So, do you have a interesting thing that you'd like to share about yourself? Because I thought that was a very good question. By the way, that's a good question for guys that are asking, what do I say to women when I approach them in a bar after I go with one of my opening lines? That's a good one.
Hi, Bryson. Yeah, I think the questions I'm going to be tossing out tonight are great for anybody to ask anybody that you want to get to know.
Right.
And honestly, think about it. I don't think there's anything more flattering than somebody who actually wants to know you better.
Right.
Not what they want to do to you or what you want to give to them, but what
Exactly.
to really know you and know what makes you tick. I think that's
Right.
important.
I do too, and I even asked that on one of my TikTok surveys. I said, would you rather be with a partner who's a good listener or a good talker? And you would think that they'd all say good listener, but I would almost say it was half and half. Some people like to listen, especially if you're an introvert.
Right. Right. Well, I think that's probably the thing people would find surprising about me is that I am an introvert.
I find it very surprising. I'm sorry. How do you define introvert if you, who seem so confident in your external body and what you say to people all over the world, how do you qualify that as an introvert?
Well, I don't think introvert and confidence are exclusive of or
Right.
excluding of each
Right.
other. So
Yes.
I think you can be an introvert and be very confident, but I'm not. I'm not a big one for crowds. I would much rather have one-on-one or a small gathering of people that I know.
Yeah.
I'm very shy in a big group of people I don't know, especially
I'm shocked.
if I'm not the host. You know, if I'm putting on an event,
Yeah.
then I know my role, right? So then I can be very outgoing and confident with that.
Okay.
But if I'm just invited to a big party,
Well,
I just
apparently other people besides myself are okay. So this is true. Indy Graham says there's something called a silent revolution, a book for introverts. But Mama Mandaru, you're an introvert? Question mark. And Bryson's like, I'm quite surprised about that. And I heard that being an introvert doesn't mean you are necessarily always shy, but after being with people, you need your alone time to replenish your energy.
absolutely.
I think that applies to me too.
Yeah.
My boyfriend, he can talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime, and come back and still be Mr. Chatty. But he's also a Gemini.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely need, you know, because like when even all of our kids come home and you know it's super fun and chaotic, but I have to go retreat every couple of hours just to have my own kind of quiet time and decompress.
Yeah.
And I used to,
I guess I never thought of introvert and extrovert as anything to do with needing to replenish energy as much as I thought of it as more of like someone who is very comfortable talking to strangers versus someone who's more reserved.
yeah,
Like,
I
would think of your husband, Mark, more of the introvert and you more the extrovert, but that was just from an outsider's perspective.
I think, and that depends on where we are and what our roles are. Because, like in his work, he's very extroverted,
Yes, yes.
and yet, but in a social setting, so in a social setting that's foreign to both of us, we just kind of isolate together.
Yeah, I mean, it could cause problems when you're with an extrovert. Because I was the shyest. When I was growing up, I know you're going to find this hard to believe, super shy. Like, I was in the sandbox. My mother would say that the kids would come and take my pail and shovel away from me, and I'd be like, you know, now I'd be like, what the fuck? That was my pail and shovel. Now I consider myself to be extroverted. What about all you people on Instagram and YouTube? What do you guys think? Are you more introvert, extrovert, or how many of you think Nancy's really an introvert? I mean, maybe it's not like one or the other. Maybe you're a combo.
I think my nature has always been introvert, and even as a little kid, I was much more shy. I mean, if I know you, if I like, even as a kid, if I knew you, I could talk your ear off.
Right.
But if I didn't know you, I would stand back and just kind of observe for a very long time before I'd feel comfortable enough to interact.
Like if you went into a market research, have you ever done market research where they put you in a room with like 10 or 12 other people?
I've never done that.
And they let you sit there for a little bit, and I think they're doing that to see who's going to take over the role of the leader of the room. And I would say growing up, I would have been the one not to take the leader. Now, I'm the one who probably is like, okay, we're all in this room together here. let's see how we can get organized and get the fuck out.
Yeah, I would just be sitting back watching. I'm very patient in those moments because I'm very curious about how humans will behave. So,
yeah. So you're more observing.
Yeah.
Now, Vanderoo is more like me, presenting as an extrovert to the outside world, but definitely need my alone time as well. Now, I definitely need my alone time. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
As soon as I'm overwhelmed, I need to go retreat.
Yeah.
That's just because I put so much energy out there. I think I need to chill.
But I think that's a really great question to ask people that you're getting to know, because then you'll understand better, like when they do retreat, that not to take it personally.
Yeah, don't take it personally if someone retreats, for sure.
Right.
So Gregory over here on YouTube said I've learned the art of speaking to everyone and not saying anything except to someone that I am interested in. Oh. Speaking to everyone and not saying anything except to someone that I'm interested in. Okay, so Amanda is presenting as an extrovert, but really needs her alone time. Nathan, definitely an introvert. We got Brady, I'm an extrovert, and a Leo. That would make sense. And RH Stillman says introvert for sure. An ambivert, Indy Graham. I think maybe I'm an ambivert.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's very situational. I'm not, like I said, if I'm like when I'm running an event, that's why Mark doesn't usually go with me on those, because I'm all over the place because I'm having to manage and make sure and talk and keep people engaged. So,
right. People would normally assume, we're going to make an ass out of you and me, that if you're an introvert, you wouldn't be able to be, in charge of groups of people and entertain them.
Right.
The way you do. So, I think it's just a way, it's an interpretation of what that label, which you don't even like being called anything anyway. I know you don't like labels.
No.
I think that's just a label.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, but I think it's helpful to understand, like for those people who are saying, oh, I definitely need my alone time and, my quiet space and time to kind of rekindle my own energy, have your own fuel source, so to speak. Then when you go do that, people aren't going to be bothered by it. My family has learned that every once in a while I'm going to disappear. And I go rest for a couple hours or do some yoga or just have my own time where I'm not having to be on. When I had my full-time diabetes practice, and I would spend 8 or 9 hours in a room talking to people, one after the other, being on for that kind of energy, I'd have to come home and just hide for a little bit.
Oh, totally. Like you go to a convention where you're talking to someone, you're talking to strangers all day long.
Right.
And then they want to go out at night. I'm like, I don't really think I'll make it past the doorway. I'm dead. I gotta go. Let me rest.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just want to tell people on YouTube, we got rid of all those spammers from Instagram.
Oh, good.
Hey, Rob, I know you were disturbed by that, and we were really annoyed as well. And I think I put a lot of them in timeout, and now we went on Nancy's Instagram. So, thank you, David. That was very sweet. So now that we're on Nancy's Instagram, we're hoping
let's see.
Get bothered by that.
So looks like Brady said that he gets nervous when he's in a new place. Takes a while to open up. Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yep.
Thank you for the compliment, Dominic. Let's see. So, all right, let's move on to another question, because I want to
questions. Okay, we're all liking questions here.
What I want to do is give people a few questions that they can ask when they're meeting a new person. So write these down so that you remember them.
Write down the Nancyisms.
Yes.
Along with it's not all about your dick.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Okay. All right.
As far as these questions go, these can be for everybody. It could be for someone that you want to get to know at work. It doesn't have to be something it doesn't need to be a male or a female. It can be anything to anyone. Because I was just I really perked up when Nancy asked me that question, because I was like, she made me think about something. I have one after you. have one that I ask pretty much everybody once in a while.
Somebody asked if I'm wearing a curtain. No, it's a top.
I am. I'm wearing a bedspread.
That's funny. I'm wearing a rug. Okay, so here's the next question. Okay, these are really just great conversation starters. You can see that everybody's now thinking about introverts and extroverts, and they think about who in your life would fit into some of these more blurred categories that we've kind of talked about that maybe gives you a little better understanding of yourself and other people. What would you do differently if nobody would judge you?
Oh, what would you do differently if nobody would judge me?
Yeah.
Why don't you go first?
I think if nobody in the world would judge me, I would be much more open about things that I don't feel I can be that open about. Private things in my life, I would be more open because I would love to.
You froze just now.
Huh? Oh, I froze?
You froze.
Ah! So,
I blocked you, but I love you.
because I feel like there's certain things I can't reveal. Part because I have kids and grandkids, and I feel like there would be judgment. And so to protect people that I love, I don't share everything that I might want to be able to be open about and not worry about. So
you share a lot, though.
You would think.
I think compared to most of my friends, you share a lot. And YouTubers and Instagrammers, do you think Nancy shares a lot because she's kind of like acting like she holds back?
What does that tell you?
What does that tell you? I mean, you definitely are not afraid to express your sexuality. And that's what I thought. I'm like, well, and probably, as much as I think I'm pretty much open, very, like I wear pretty sexy bathing suits, but I think I'd be more comfortable like walking around naked if I thought nobody would judge me. Because I like to be naked.
Yeah. That's why you would love Hito, because nobody judges you there.
I know.
Yeah.
I would love Hito.
Yeah.
I know. And there's no question that I would love Hito.
So the blue-haired girl says she'd fart in public. That's great.
Well, I already do that, Megan.
Do you? Do you fart in public?
Wait, I definitely farted. I don't really care about that. It is embarrassing during yoga. Or Pilates. It was Pilates, I think I farted. I don't know where people get off that it's okay for guys to fart and it's not okay for girls to fart.
I don't think it's okay for guys to fart either. I mean, it's
I
like,
think it's okay as long as it doesn't smell.
well, how can they're gonna.
I was like I remember I was in Target and then before COVID, obviously, and there was a big line of people, and there's just like a little old man, and he just like walked. It just makes me laugh. I think farting is funny.
Farts are very funny. I mean,
there's something about farts. Even my dad was dying, and he's still walking around farting, and it just cracked everybody up. Sometimes you have to crack up.
You have to crack one off and then crack up. So,
I'm a sales trainer.
So Veronica's surprised I have grandkids. Yep, I've got 5 of them. The oldest is.
She had them when she had her kids when she was 12.
The oldest is 18.
I have no grandkids, but I'm called grandma all the time, so it doesn't matter. Amanda says she's a sales trainer, so I teach people how to improve their customer service and sales approaches. So when I'm home after talking all day and being on, I have to crawl into a hole sometimes. LOL. Yeah, it takes a lot of mental energy to be on. Even after these live streams, sometimes I get tired. I'm like, oh, that's what happened last time. My voice got tired from talking.
Yeah. So somebody says, is being an introvert correlated to perversions? I don't think so. And I instead of calling them perversions, I prefer to call them proclivities.
Proclivities.
And I wrote a great article in one of the sexual health magazines a couple of years ago about, perversion or proclivity and what's, that because the word perversion sounds very judgmental.
Yeah.
And whereas proclivity or preferences just sounds like, oh, okay, that's just what you're into. So.
Again, I think things things have changed over the years, especially for me and my judgmental nature. One of my friends was telling me about how her boyfriend was liking to get into underpants and then get her into underpants with him. And at the time, I'm like, that is so perverted. And now I'm thinking, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so bad. Oh, Rob, you read my book. And what did you think? So we're going to be giving away one of these 2 books. And Dr. Nancy's also going to give away one of her 2 books.
Yeah.
That's in a PDF. Because I can't deal with going to the post office.
Right.
But we'll figure out how we're going to determine who's going to get these PDFs.
So first thing,
Gabrielle,
you said that I skipped your question. I can't see it. Things are scrolling fast. So if you could repost it, that would be great. Do we practice nudity? I mean, I love to be naked. I'm not a nudist, but I enjoy being naked. I don't spend all my time possible naked because
Do you guys like being naked?
I don't like being cold. I don't like being cold. If it were warm all the time, I'd probably be naked a lot more.
Now, Rob, she's not on a date. He said you're on a date. She's not on a date at all. She's definitely in the date. No, she's not on a date. She's very open-minded. Actually, we should go to that listener question. Because the listener question, am I going to be able to see it on my thing here? I'm going to go on my iPad. I'll see if I can pull up the question. So during the day, the last couple of days, I asked people on Instagram to give me their questions from today. And since it was supposed to be ladies' night only, we only got like a couple questions. I'm just going to have to find the question. Or I'll paraphrase. Oh, no, here it is. Meantime, let's see. Here we go. Let's see if I can get this pulled up. Meantime, I'm trying to figure out how to do this on an iPad.
So Brady says he's introverted to Instagram models because they're sexy and real. Well, yeah, no, I mean they're not really. I mean they're real people, but they're not people that are going to be engaging with you on a. It's not a balance of power.
It's not when you have to give them money for them to say hello to you.
Right.
Let's see. Okay. So what I was going to do was I was going to paraphrase because I can't find it right now. What this someone had written into us, and she said she and her husband, I guess, had an open relationship marriage, and I guess she cheated on her husband behind his back, and then he found out about it. Now she said, "How do we get the trust back?" And I thought that's something that you might want to, ring in on.
Yeah. Well, first of all, when people say they have an open relationship and then somebody cheats, I have to wonder how open was the relationship and how strong was the communication. Because the only reason you would cheat is if you were afraid of being judged, punished, or stopped doing what you want to do. So I think it's important that people understand that open relationship is all about strong, open, honest communication first and foremost. Wherever you go from there.
Okay.
So
anyway,
I would come back.
It's a question of first figuring out what that open relationship looked like. If you didn't really have clear boundaries there,
right?
Then obviously cheating is going to occur, right? I mean,
and
then again, what is cheating? Is cheating kissing? Is it watching porn? Is it just straight up intercourse? Is it hand jobs? I mean, what is cheating?
Well, I think if you feel like you've cheated, it doesn't matter what it is you did. You feel like you've done something that you're ashamed to tell your partner, whether it's spending money or whether it's having sex with somebody. It doesn't matter what it is. The what it is irrelevant. But
apparently, this woman who wrote in said that there's now a lack of trust, so she feels she did do it.
So then I would say you need to seek counseling to help the two of you get back to the basics of your relationship and to reestablish your foundation of trust and rapport. And so that you can then start, you have to rebuild. You have to, you have to own.
Rebuild. It's not the end of the world. You can just rebuild.
You got to own your mistake. You have to really apologize until the person feels the apology is satisfactory. And then you need, that other person needs help not feeling compelled to punish you and continue to punish you, because that'll just push you further away. So you really do have to kind of go back to the basics and reestablish what it is you're looking for in an open relationship, and what it was that you were afraid of where you didn't reveal your truth.
Right, exactly. Especially if you considered your relationship to be open.
Right, because if it's open, there should be nothing that you wouldn't be okay telling your partner.
Right.
Or hearing from your partner.
Yeah. Actually, I know of 2 or 3 different couples from my friends back home in Chicago who have, one of the 2 has cheated in their relationship. Or one thought it was open, but it wasn't open. But now they seem like, since counseling and apologies and all this other stuff, they seem like they're stronger as a couple than ever. So I always think, like, maybe the cheating was just a catalyst to what, needed to be fixed.
I mean, I think people could come out of those kind of situations better than they were before if they use it to their advantage and they use it to
But
really.
don't think you should do that.
Huh?
But you're not recommending it. Don't go cheating to make your relationship better either.
No, but I think people think if you do cheat that's a deal breaker and you have to end a whole family because of it, and that's not true.
Right, no way. Thank you.
There is
what
great.
Are all these little guys saying hello?
Great relationship possibilities after cheating. Yeah.
Good relationships.
Yes.
All right.
So do you have any never ever have I ever's, Karen?
Oh yeah. Never have ever gotten a tattoo.
Are we drinking?
You're drinking. If you're at home drinking and you got a tattoo, you got a drink. I never did. Still want to. Just concerned that I would change my mind as soon as I get a tattoo, and then I'm going to be like, oh shit, I should not have gotten the yin yang. I should have gotten the Libra.
Well, then that's why people have more than one.
My entire body is going to be covered because I keep having a difficult time making up my mind. So I did nothing. And that goes back, I think, also to growing up. My parents were like, you should never get a tattoo, so I never did. And I'm also a scaredy cat of pain, so... anyway, yeah, I don't have one, but kind of wouldn't say never to that either.
So Tina, we're having Pinot Noir. So I have one tattoo, and I want more. I want another one. And so
Let's go together.
Okay. Because I would really like to get a yin yang. So.
See, isn't that weird? So Nancy and I, unbeknownst to each other, want to get the same tattoo.
Yeah.
Very strange, right?
Yeah.
We're 2 days apart. She's 26, I'm 24th of Libra of September. And we have a lot of things in common.
And the other one I've been designing is like the Earth, a picture of the Earth with a peace sign through it, but not a full peace sign. My brother was in Vietnam, and he bought a peace sign for me when he was in Vietnam, and it's the round, and it has the piece that comes down, and one comes over and the other one only comes halfway.
Oh, so
piece is missing
here yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so. Okay,
so Gabriel sent his question again. I'm going to look for it just because I feel bad if he wrote it out twice. Of course, I can't find him.
Where are you sending it? Because if you're sending it in messages, we can't get those.
No, he's sending. Oh, is he? Yeah, because
I don't know. Oh, there it is.
He found it good.
No, he's just saying you skipped my question. So Gabriel, if you're sending it, are you posting it in the messages here? Because we're not seeing it.
Yeah.
There.
Okay.
Nope. It says
You skipped my message again.
If you're sending it in the private messages, we can't see those while we're doing lives. So
okay, so Stratus wants to weigh in about the cheating.
So I have one tattoo. Okay, wait a minute. So somebody wants to. I have a tattoo of a. Let's see if I can pull it up here.
Oh, so, she's pulling it up.
Yep. So
you can't see it.
Can you see it? Can you see it?
No.
No. All right.
Still can't see it.
It's here. Let me see if I can turn.
Still can't see it. Are you trying to do a yoga pose
Yeah.
right now?
I'll put my heel behind my head. It's a lotus flower with an Om underneath it.
That was another one I wanted. That's what. See, this is why I can't do it, because I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted.
So I designed this one.
Thank you, Rob.
Yeah.
I appreciate all the super chats coming in over here. But you guys, if you have a super chat and you want me to ask a question to myself and answer a question, let us know what that question is, because we don't know. Stratus says, I don't like cheating been called a mistake. A mistake is leaving your wallet at home. Cheating is a conscious decision to give your partner's feelings the middle finger. Wow. Not always. I don't know if I agree with that.
No.
I don't think that's, sometimes it could be just that you're in a vulnerable state of mind and you make a mistake. And you didn't really think it through and you got horny and, it happens. I'm not saying I would. Yeah. I always thought, if it's like a one-night stand and, you talk about it later, would I divorce my husband? No.
I think some people do revenge cheating.
Revenge cheating sounds like what Stratus is talking about.
Yeah.
If it's a partner, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if you're in a revenge cheat point, you have to just separate, because you're doing something to hurt the other person. Then you're just there's nothing there. Yeah.
Anytime you set out to actually hurt a partner or somebody that you love, a friend, a partner, whatever, it's time to move on. Let them go.
Do you have a never have I ever?
Well, here's somebody asking, do you have your navel pierced? Have you ever?
I only have ears pierced. I'm freaking boring. I got only the earrings, which I don't even wear anymore, because who bothers with earrings? I don't have any navel pierce, no nipple pierce, no clit piercing. I got no other piercing. What about you?
No, just ears. Yeah.
You know why I would not want this? Because if I got a cold, I would hate to have to blow my nose with this thing in my nose.
Yeah.
Plus, I think it looks a little like a pig. It's funny because my son was dating someone who had a nose pierce. And my dad, who's an older man, like 90-something, he would always be saying to my younger son, "How's your girlfriend with the one with the pierced nose?" The nose piercing.
So
that's her identity.
So here's.
Oh my God, Gabriel sent this question again.
Okay, so would I create an OnlyFans? No, but I have a Patreon account that you can support, and I put some of my sexier pictures on there and some articles, and I interact, and I do a private Zoom for some of my patrons, and so come support me there. That would be awesome.
Yeah, but neither of us do the OnlyFans thing. I think mainly because it makes me feel like I'm for sale, and then once someone thinks that they bought me, I don't want that feeling. That's how I feel about OnlyFans. Even though if I decide I want to put a picture of just myself in a bikini on Patreon, it's my decision.
Right.
So
well, what I tell people is if you're coming to my sites looking for overt genital pictures or me having sex pictures, don't waste your time. I'm not going to do that. It's not going to happen. So
I'm looking here.
Keep on moving.
Question, by the way, I feel badly, and I know there's a way to do it, but I have to figure out how I access the questions on my Instagram without turning off the Instagram. I don't know. There's got to be a way to do it. Because if I press the live thing, then it goes. Yeah.
Okay, so this is ladies' night. So ladies' questions only tonight now.
Oh, she's putting down the gavel. No more men's questions. questions.
No, because they always go to the same place, and we're not doing that anymore. So
Yeah.
Go watch our other videos on my YouTube channel, and we'll answer all those questions that you're asking. About what we'll answer and what we won't.
Well, all the questions about
We're not answering
lots of
personal
questions
sex
answered in this
questions.
book. The question, every single question that you guys have asked ever is in this book.
Right.
What's a cougar? Where do we meet? How do you prepare for cougars? How do you find cougars? How do you approach cougars? How do you make a cougar purr? Cougar do's and
How do you make a
don'ts.
cougar purr? I like that. How do you make a cougar purr?
How do you make a cougar? Now, I was going to tell you, we were doing something for Valentine's Day. I suggest you guys get a box of goodies. Go get your box of goodies. Do something. If you're in a relationship that needs spicing up, Valentine's Day is the day to do it.
So is any day that ends with a Y.
Oh, listen to her. Any day that ends with a Y.
Spice up any day that ends with a Y.
Any day that ends with a Y. Let's see, what over here?
Okay, so Karen.
So you don't want to answer any other questions?
I mean, if they're unique and new.
Well, this is kind of unique.
Okay.
I don't think we've been asked this question in a while, and I'm sorry that Rob is sad. Some of them are just saying they just want a woman. They don't care her age or anything. They just want a woman, which I understand. And this guy Dahlia says, "I'm short, a short guy. Any suggestions?" And again, that's a mental thing. I mean, the short thing. There's plenty of short women. I mean, actually, I know like a really, really short, confident guy who's with a really, really tall woman who's like a foot taller than her.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a mental thing that you think that it's a problem that
Right.
you're short. Just like it's a mental thing that you think is a problem that you're bald or that you are fat. Like the other guy was saying, he was heavy with a dad bod. I mean, those are things that you have to turn the channel in your head and stop worrying so much about what people think about you and just have fun with yourself. Don't worry about what a woman's judgments are, because anyone judging you because you're short is not who you want to be with anyway. Some people think short is good. Society is making you think you have to be tall.
Short isn't a personality. Short isn't a quality of what people are looking for in a friend or a partner or somebody interesting to know. But short can be an attitude. So
short can be an attitude.
So,
I know a lot of short guys have that attitude.
Right.
It's fully complex.
So if you've embodied the short man attitude, then you're probably going to be off-putting, because that tends to be overly aggressive, and it tends to be kind of snarky. So
well, I got to ask you then. He said, "Would I do a shorter guy?" What does that mean? Would I do one? You're saying, would I do one? I've definitely done one or two.
Yeah.
I mean, I've also done tall. I've also done short. I mean, fat and thin and,
Hey, listen.
all kinds of different types.
Sexy is sexy. Sexy doesn't have a height or a weight or a color or a gender, or it's like you've got a sex appeal and you're interesting and you make people curious about you, or you don't.
Right. If you don't like dogs, that's not sexy.
No.
So you gotta like dogs.
So Tina over here wants to know, what's a fun ladies' night to do?
A fun ladies' night.
Yeah. So during COVID, it's kind of challenging.
Yeah,
right?
let's pretend we're not in COVID.
Okay, let's do.
Okay? Like Nancy and I can have fun if we were sitting in a bathroom together. But
Okay.
A fun ladies' night to me is some light mood enhancers. Not too much. Music is always fun for me and my lady friends because I like to dance.
TikToking.
Good food. I like good food. And it has to be a comfortable setting, a comfortable environment where I feel like you can hear the people. I can't stand it if I'm in big crowded bars and I can't hear anybody.
Hi, Katrina.
And not too many people either. Sometimes I don't like when there's too many people. Like, I guess I'm kind of introverted like that. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a fun ladies' night, unless I miss something. A mechanical bull would be nice.
Oh my God. My girlfriends and I all met in Texas. It's been a year and a half ago. Yeah, year and a half ago, before all this nonsense happened.
I can just imagine you on that little wild.
And we rode the bull. Oh my God, we had so much fun. So much fun. Yeah, it's amazing how much better you can ride a bull when you got a couple shots of tequila in you.
Exactly. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah. Tequila, yeah, that's a tough one. I was gonna say that I don't like it if there's a band that's far enough away that you can walk up and go dance, and then you can come back and still have a conversation with the women you're with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Because the conversations
get
good.
Is fun? I like going to like a really fun like steakhouse where there's like I used to go to this one in Chicago, and they have like a certain area of the bar where there's like a little trio, like a musical trio, and then you can get like bar food and stuff sitting in the high top tables. I'm all about like ambiance.
Yeah.
I love ambiance. Now,
Me too.
Of course you do, because we're Libras.
Yeah.
We just love ambiance.
I gotta have like the lighting and the scent, and I like all my senses seduced at once.
Yeah.
Of course, Mark calls me a sensual whore, because I mean anything sensual, I just am there. I'm a sucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a bar I went to. It was a supper club in Amsterdam, where like they had all these like beds, all like around, not for fucking or anything, but maybe, I don't know, because we didn't get that far. But it was like when marijuana wasn't legal here, so it was like they had definitely get high around the area, and then they had a band underneath. It was so cool. It was such a great club without being like too clubby. I haven't gone clubbing in a while. It's been a while since I've gone clubbing.
I know.
What do you do with your money? Bob, find a place to invest it. I don't know. Join my Patreon page. And Nancy said.
Yeah. Put your money on us.
Yeah. Anthony Alvarado wants to know, what was Tosh.0 like? Because I was on Tosh.0. He actually turned out to be. I was nervous up there because this guy is the guy who does all the punk. He's all about like making people feel like mortified. He's extremely smart. He's extremely funny, and he actually was a very nice guy. But
that's cool.
We were nervous because we did not know that this guy was going to be any of those. We were concerned that he was going to try to make us look stupid, which is what he does typically do. Or I should say his producers make him look like that.
Would you ever go on Howard Stern?
I would love to go on Howard Stern. I'd be shitting my pants, but I'd go on it. I mean, he's like my mentor.
The shock jock.
Wouldn't you like to be on Howard Stern?
No.
There's your introvert part.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd intimidate me. What about Oprah? Would you like to go on Oprah?
I want to have tea with Oprah.
No, you have to be on her show.
Yeah, I'd be on her show. Yeah.
Because I was on Megyn Kelly. I thought again, was going to be a bitch because of her reputation. She was the nicest. I thought, actually, I thought I was like best friends with her off camera. She was really friendly and everything. And then 2 seconds later, they just whisked us out of there.
Yeah. Next.
As soon as you're done, then you're out. You're done with that whole like 15 seconds of fame.
Okay, so I have one more question for you, Karen.
Yeah.
All right. What is an issue that you think not enough people are talking about?
So political, social issue, or are you talking about just any issue?
Anything that you feel like just isn't getting enough attention in the world. Okay.
One, the typical thing, which is I think we're not talking about climate change enough. I'm very much in favor of fixing that issue because I don't think we have anything if we don't have our Earth. But the other thing is, which is what the question I was going to ask you, is if you had this giant billboard, what would you want it to say? Mine would say, follow your gut. And I don't think the issue of following your gut is thought about enough today. I think people need to understand that if they followed their intuition, they would make good choices.
Yeah.
That's the issue. I don't know if it's popular, but that's my thought process. What do you think?
Well, I would add to yours. I would say follow your heart and trust your gut. Because I think the heart is always just going to lead us better than the head. But the gut is going to give us our intuitive nature, and it's going to help us understand whether this is the right timing or the right distance or the right angle to go. So I think if we listen to both of those rather than the head, which is always trying I think that's guided by the ego, and the ego is always trying to compare us to others, which just confuses us. It's not really finding our authentic voice.
Well, like Mel Robbins, the 5-second rule.
Right. Like
she's all about, like, within 5 seconds, your head is going to tell your gut not to do something. It's going to talk you out of it. So you got to follow your gut, act on it.
Yeah. So somebody says,
it can definitely get you into trouble, but you'll get out of it.
So Indiegram says, as Rihanna says, not enough people are talking about the farmers getting killed in India. Okay, that's a powerful one.
No, there's a lot. I mean, I just heard that the daily. Have you heard the daily podcast yesterday was so upsetting about the kidnappings going on in Mexico. I couldn't even sleep last night. So I mean, there's so many issues out there. I just say climate because of the fact that if we don't take care of our environment, we're not going to have any need to do any of the other issues.
Right.
Including follow our gut, because we're not going to have a gut, because we're not going to be here.
Right. So Tina says that the idea of respect that is needed just seems to be enough respect and discussion about respect. I think social media has kind of pushed us away from being respectful, where you can just blurt out things.
But social media has also made everybody so paranoid. They're afraid to do anything. You're afraid to do this and that because we're going to get canceled.
Yeah.
I never heard of that term before.
Canceled.
But, we always said on our podcast, we're going to say what's on our mind, and obviously we're going to be conscious of what we're saying.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't give a shit about the judgments of others, because otherwise we're not going to be able to be free enough to speak our authentic truth.
Yeah. I mean, because judgments are just, they come from a place of not knowing. They come from your own framework that's based on all of your stuff behind you having nothing to do with the other person. So
that was the third book I had over here, which is the 4 Agreements.
I like that book. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys should read the 4 Agreements.
Yeah.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna let's see. If you let us know on either of our Instagram pages that you watch this live stream, we'll pick a name out of a hat or something, and we'll send you a PDF of one of the books. We'll get in touch with you.
Yeah. So for me, I'll give you a choice. I'll give you a choice of my book download, which is 10 keys. It's a guide for men, 10 keys to unlock your woman's sexual desire. And then I have 5 different yoga to go DVDs that I've filmed and produced, and I can send you the download. So you can just tell me which one you want, and then I'll put your names in a hat. So go to my Instagram, which is Dr. Nancy Sutton Pierce -ELR, or Karenlee Poter, and send us that you watched the show today, and we'll send you a present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna pick out 2 names, 2 lucky winners. We're not going to answer a question about cocks today, John, because you should be donating $10 to our fund.
Yeah, but if you mention cocks, you have to pay for every cock.
I don't think we've had one live stream where someone has not asked us a size question. And it says asking for a friend.
Right, y'all are.
There's nothing wrong with short, fat cocks, okay? I'm just going to just come out and say it. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much more to a man than his appendage.
That is it.
You know? I mean, really. It's like, why do guys reduce themselves to just the size of their penis?
I don't know.
Don't do that to yourselves. That's demeaning.
Have you ever had a woman, I don't know what to do. My vagina's not big enough.
I actually have.
No one's ever said to me that vagina was too small. I had to meet up with the friend. Okay, we're going to have to answer these questions later, or I'll stay on a little bit longer maybe afterwards for these questions, as there's just too many right now. Sorry.
So Megan, direct message. Just direct message us on our on each of our Instagrams, so that you get your name put in twice.
I don't answer all the DMs.
Oh, well, but we're just collecting names, right?
I know. I'm just wondering if they can. I think it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, DM us on Instagram if you watch the live stream and want to be in the free book downloads or video downloads that we've got.
Yeah.
Make sure you go to our Patreon page. We have separate Patreon page. Should have one. We should put one together.
We should do one for this show.
Yeah, we should. Right now, we only have separate ones, and it's Patreon, patreon.com/ either Dr. Nancy, or you can go to patreon.com/ Karen Lee.
Yep.
All right.
And that's how you can help us keep doing these, because we are spending time behind the scenes, planning and creating and deciding how to move these forward. Your input is important. You know, we want to know what it is about these shows you like. We got some great feedback after the last show that we really took to heart. We're not offended. We're not off-put at all by it. We really want to know what you think. And so, you know, send us that information so we can talk about it and create a new program. Yeah. So and
thank you very much for Super Chats on YouTube. Maybe next time we'll be able to get a Super Chat on Instagram. They should have a way to monetize on Instagram. They haven't done that yet. I know they do on TikTok now. And so follow us on all these other platforms. Dr. Nancy is on Facebook. Don't follow me on Facebook because I can't post. I've been reprimanded from Facebook and I'm not allowed to post. But I am on TikTok, and that is fun. And that's it.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us. We're hopefully going to be here next week. I may have a little medical issue that I got to figure out about, but if I'm feeling okay, I'll do it.
My curtain's falling off.
Her curtain's falling down, and look, she's getting very sexy here. And if you guys would like any topics to be discussed or anything that we haven't talked about here that is more personal, Patreon is a great place to do that too, because we can answer the message back and forth confidentially there.
Yep, we will.
And I'm sorry about the spam. Again, it was terrible, and a lot of spam going on last week.
Yeah.
Thank God it's not going on this week.
Well,
and,
we learn something new every time. So.
Yeah. So that's it.
Yes. Always lovely to see you, my friend. I can't wait till we can do these together live.
We're going to be doing live, you guys, very soon. As soon as this little experimental time goes by, we'll be doing it together. And then we can bring you guys on.
Yes. All right. Much love. Hopefully I see you next week. Let me know how you feel.
Will do.
Okay.
Love you.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So we're getting ready to sign off here. So just to let you know, Dragonfly, Tina, no, we haven't done anything together for quite a while. She's got a lot going on, and she has her own membership site, and she's doing all kinds of things. So check her out on her Facebook. And thanks everybody for popping in, and I hope the show was okay for you. I will put the video of both Karen and I, our Instagram one that shows both of us in the frame. I'll put that up on YouTube later on, probably tomorrow, and so you can see kind of the interaction that's going on between the two of us. And I look forward to, hopefully we'll be back next week. And if not, I will pop in for a little bit just to check in. A week from tomorrow, let's see, tomorrow's Friday, so a week from tomorrow, Mark and I leave for Jamaica. So I'm very excited about that. A little nervous about the whole process, but we're gonna go for it and see if we can get some sun on our buns and our toes in the sand. So look forward to seeing you all again soon. Thanks for showing up tonight, everybody. We really appreciate that. And if you have any questions or comments about the show, please send them to me. Just DM me, and that way I can share them with Karen, and we can use that to create better and better content for you. All right, we'll talk to you later. Have a good week. Be careful. Wear your masks now too. When you're out in public, get your vaccine as soon as you can, please. It's going to take a lot of us to get vaccinated before the world really shifts enough to matter. Much love. Namaste.